This week, Parashat Toldot, we learned in Parashat Toldot that Esav and Rivka couldn't have children. Finally, they davened. Usually, since the person has a need, comes to daven. But here, Torah says the other way. Torah says, Esav davened to Hashem, in front of his wife, when he was Agara, because it was Agara. In other words, they davened, and because of davening, HaKadosh Baruch Hu made Rivka to be Akara, be barren. Now, usually, what is it like this? Because it's a barren, there is a need. The need brings the tefillah. But the pasuk here says the other way. Because HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants the tefillah, he provided the need. Because it's a very interesting concept that all of our avot, they were barren, they didn't have children, and through tefillah they got children. Now, Mefarshim say, not a lot of times you get something through natural phenomena. Somebody doesn't daven nothing, and he has a child, naturally has a child. Therefore, this baby is a baby of nature. Nature brought this baby to the world. By the way, nature is HaKadosh Baruch Hu, but it was an element of tefillah was not there. Imagine the couple didn't have children, and for a few years they daven and pray. Everybody daven. This baby is the product of nature and tefillah. Therefore, this baby is a different type of baby. The cells of this baby is different. The neshama is different. The physiology of this child is different. In other words, when in the East there was tsunami, there were some houses that didn't get touched. They didn't get room. There were some Jewish houses. Everybody was surprised. How come? In other words, everybody else got room. These houses that they light candle of Shabbat, they daven, they pray, they made tefillot in the things. Imagine two people build the house. Somebody has the cash money, pays. The other one, he doesn't have money, put some money, and then he daven, oh, please help me. I should be able to finish up the house. Again and again, all daven. Now, you see, both houses are built, but one house is the product of nature. One is the product of nature. Disaster of nature or phenomena in nature could destroy nature. But a house that's made with tefillah, with the power of tefillah, therefore the cement, the connection of the bricks is not just cement. It's tefillah, it's avodah, it's HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Therefore, natural disaster cannot touch it, cannot do anything to it. That's the most important thing to learn. Kahal Israel are the product of tefillah, connection to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That's why the generation of Kahal Israel are very special neshamot. Because you see two human beings. One human being is the physiology, is the body, cells, veins, brain, puts everything together. This other person is much above these things. It's not just natural power, natural elements, put them together. This is the Ruchani, this is the hand of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And that's why they didn't have children till they died. And that is the yesod that we could use in our life. Somebody was going in Israel, he sees Rav Yakov Hillel is behind the pizza shop. He looks at it, Rav Yakov Hillel is back here, like a cashier. Then he goes inside, what's happening? He says, Rav Yakov Hillel is speaking, he's giving it Russia. What happened at his pizza shop? He said, this pizza shop, the man is one of the Talmidim of Rav Yakov Hillel, and he wants to start today this business. And he gave some portion of business to Yeshiva of Rav Yakov, and he told him, come and speak, because the foundation should be Torah and Avodah. The business becomes a different business. So it's not a natural phenomenon. It's a business started with Torah, with Avodah, sharing with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Things would be different. Therefore, anything in our life that we share with HaKadosh Baruch Hu, then the things becomes a different type of things. Now, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, therefore she became pregnant, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, now, if you notice in Torah, Goyim is written Geim, but we read it Goyim. Very interesting. Most of the Torah the way that's written, and the way that we read it is the same. Sometimes in Torah we find that reading and writing are different. Now, the Persian ceremony, what is it? See, writing is in the Torah, is internal. Reading, we proclaim, is external. Most of the Torah, internal and external, are the same. There's no differentiation. But sometimes the internal and external are different. Internal is one way, external different way. Now here, when Rivka had two children, Yakov and Esav, internally they are game. What does game mean? Rashi says game means two great power. Great power. Great power. Internally, HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave this mother with the truth tefillah, Yaakov and Esav, two internal power. From both of them, Chal Israel should be created. You need the power of Yaakov and you need the power of Esav to create Chal Israel. But externally, Goyim, two nations, externally didn't happen because Esav used his Bechira free choice in a bad way. He didn't become whatever that was from. Now Rashi says there were two children. You go to Bet HaMidrash, Yaakov wants to come out. You go to Avodah Zarah, Esav wants to come out. What does that mean? If that's the case, it's destined. In other words, the destination is set from before. That cannot be. They don't have Bechira. No. What Rashi means to say, the potential of them are different. Yaakov is the one to sit in Bet HaMidrash, to grow in Bet HaMidrash. His Avodah and his Nisayon is to have thousands of Talmidim, to spread out Torah. The job of Esav is on your sword. You should live to rectify evil from the world and stay away from Avodah Zarah. Don't go after Avodah Zarah. That was his destiny. Both together, Yadayim Yedei Esav, Yaakov, could create a different world for us. If Esav would have done a good job, we wouldn't have ISIS. All of this wild evil that comes to the world because Esav failed to do his job. Yadayim Yedei Esav, we are weak. We don't have. We lost it. That's why. But HaKadosh Baruch Hu told them, and Rashi brings out, at the time of Antiochus was one of the descendants of Esav, and he was telling Rabbi Danasi, Rabbi Zara says, he said that when you get up, you don't have to, you shouldn't put your foot on the ground, you should put it on me. What does that mean? Submission totally to Yaakov. That was what Esav had to do. But unfortunately, Esav didn't want to submit to Yaakov. He would go to the father, he would say, Father, should we give Meister from should we give Meister on Melach and Teven? No, what was the point of his question? Melach, salt preserved the food. Teven is a cup. Teven is straw. The straw keeps the kernel. Now he's telling you, Father, do we give Meister from them? Father says, no. What was the point that he was making? He says, therefore, you see, Melach is not important. The food is important. The teven is not important. The straw is not important. The kernel is important. What does it mean to say? Say that Hashem made me like a melach, like a teven. I don't want it. I want to be the kernel. I want to be the food. I know he says, Zedon lebecha ishiacha. In other words, Esav could have been a Jew, could have children keeping Torah, mitzvah, Pesach, Sukkah, to have a beautiful family, beautiful because HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave you a potential, use that potential, you get to the highest point that you could get. Yaakov in his own way, you your own way. But what happens when a person is not happy with his destination? He's not happy with himself. Therefore, he wants to be Yaakov, but Hashem made you Esav. Therefore, what happens? He hated himself. He didn't want to be whatever that he is. He wanted to be somebody else. Now, Nabi says, we're going to learn in the Haftorah. HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, I like you, Yaakov. You're going to tell me, what did you make that Yaakov? He says, Alo, Yaakov and Esav, they were brothers. I like Yaakov and I hated Esav. The Esav sonnet. Nabi says, HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, I hated Esav. Very interesting. Why? What did Esav do to deserve that Hashem should hate him? Soneti Esav. Hashem says, in the Navi says, I hated Esav. What did Esav do? That What did Esav do that he should deserve to be hated? Baruch Hu should hate him. אהבתי את רם על השם. Esav Yakov. Esav knew Hashem. אוהב את יעקב. I like it. Esav's done it. I hated Esav. Now Hashem say, what? See why Hashem hates Esav? Because Esav hated himself. Somebody who hates himself means that all of the privileges, all of the potential that he could get to the highest form of his being that Hashem gave to him, he hates. Therefore, what does it mean? You are hating HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Hashem hates somebody who hates himself. It's an unbelievable point. Therefore, Esav could have been game and he lost everything because he wasn't happy with his own position. First and the most important thing in life is that the person should be happy with himself. Should know every flower has this good smell in itself. HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives potential to each person. And through this potential, he could get to heart. Now, Yakov, Ishtam Yoshev Bahalim, and Esav his own way. But Esav rejected, became Sir Mumon, and he lost at the end of the day. He lost Ulam Hazeh, he lost Ulam Haba. Even Ulam Hazeh he doesn't have. We're going to learn in a few parashiot that all of the family of Esav is the family of Zenut and adultery, that they got together, and no sense of family, no sense of everything, because he hated himself. That is what Torah is telling us, Shnei Geim, that really there were two potential, but Esav lost it because of that. But Yaakov got to the highest. When we learn the next parasha, that the image of Yaakov is Kisa Kavod, and the Malachim Olim Yodim go to see that the person completed himself, gets to the height like Yaakov Avinu.